Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Over the years, I've made a lot of videos on making a chain. This particular one looks really good and it's really easy. Let's take a rectangle and up here with your ratio locked, we're going to type in 1. That's really not enough, so we're going to go 2. You cannot go to too big a number. It won't go, but it's so far. Now I'm going to go to Effects. In contour, I'm going to contour the inside a 1/2 inch, and we got our chain. Now the 1/2 inch isn't set in stone, but it's also going to give you a chance to make your other link that's a 1/2 inch wide. Now, to do this theoretically perfect, we're going to go ahead and go to Object and break the contour apart, and we're going to hit P. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. We want pretty big, but we can change it now with my ratio unlocked. I'm going to type in 1 and 1 at top, and I get that rounded top. Now I'm going to set this down, holding down the control button till it gets like in the middle about right there. And then I'm going to control D and make a duplicate and mirror it, holding down the control button. And you can just ballpark this. I'm going to make this chain a little bit different than the other one. I'm going to make the links a little bit different color. So I'm going to take my smart fill now. What you would do if you wanted, well, let's just do it both ways. If you wanted it all black, if you just, and it's easier if you held down your Alt key, it'll help you draw a straight line. So this one is going to be all black and really easy. But this one, we want it to be like a different color. So I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key and swipe through there and there. And I'm going to make the outside one black. But on the other one, I'm going to make it a little bit less black, kind of give it some look. Now I'm going to go and select it all. I'm going to right click, no outline. Now I'm going to make this thing something even. So I'm going to make it 5 inches. Then I'm going to set my nudge factor on 5 inches. And all I have to do is hit the plus key or the control button, and I made a chain. Now, if you're a laser engraver, you know what? That might even help you with a laser. And I got a little line right there, but that's easily fixed. If we grab that and that, shift select both those and weld it, get rid of that line. There won't really be any other lines anywhere else. But if you'll take that and shift select that and go weld, it'll get rid of that line. On the black, you probably won't have that problem. We're going to make this thing 5 inches. Our nudge factor set on 5. Hit the plus key or the control D. And I don't know if you're going to have a line there or not. A little bit of a line. I don't really think it's going to show up, maybe unless you're printing it. But we could weld it all and it'll get rid of that line. You probably can't do the weld all with the 2 different colors. I don't think it'll work. We'll try it. I doubt if it's going to work. Yep, because the 2 different colors are going to not let it weld. But it's so easy, unless you're making a really long chain. And if you were making a really long chain, you could, let's just do that. Let's weld this one more. You can see zoomed in, you can't even see the break. So we got this really pretty long chain, but now we can group this together, Control G, and we're at 25 inches. We're going to make a nudge factor 25 inches. Then we're going to hit the plus key and go down. Now we'd only have to weld that one joint. Of course, you'd have to break it all apart, which isn't that big a deal. Go up to Object, Group, and Ungroup. You probably don't have to ungroup all. And then just shift select these 2 pieces and weld them together. Now you have a really long, um, long chain. And also you'd probably want to take out this link that's not there, but that's easily done. Anyway, I hope that gave you an idea or two, and thank you for watching.